The message came on a quiet Tuesday morning. At first, the radio astronomers at the Global Space Communications Center thought it was just another routine signal. But this one was different. This one had pattern, purpose, and most importantly, it was responding to Earth's own deep space transmissions. "We come in peace," the message said in perfect English, transmitted across every communication channel on Earth. "We wish to meet." Within hours, the world's leaders gathered in an emergency session at the United Nations. Military forces worldwide went on high alert, but they kept their presence subtle. If these visitors truly came in peace, humanity would not appear hostile. 3 days later, a sleek silver ship descended from the clouds above New York City. It was beautiful, almost artistic in its design, hovering silently above the specially prepared landing zone in Central Park. The world watched through countless cameras as the ship gently touched down. The welcoming committee consisted of the UN Secretary-General, several world leaders, and a team of scientists. They stood waiting as a door materialized in the ship's smooth hull. The aliens that emerged looked almost human, tall, elegant beings with pale blue skin and silver eyes. "We are the representatives," their leader announced, his voice carrying a musical quality. "We speak for the Galactic Coalition of Advanced Species." The initial meetings went well. The aliens shared stories of their civilizations, spoke of amazing technologies, and hinted at the wonders that awaited humanity among the stars. But Tom Miller, the head of Earth's security detail, noticed something odd. The aliens never answered direct questions about their military capabilities. They avoided discussions about Earth's recent technological advances. And their eyes, those silver eyes, seemed to be constantly analyzing, judging. During the third day of talks, everything changed. The alien leader placed a small device on the conference table. It projected a hologram of Earth, surrounded by various data streams that only the aliens could read. "We have completed our assessment," the alien announced. His musical voice had turned cold. "Your species presents concerns." The UN Secretary-General leaned forward. "Concerns? We have shown nothing but peaceful intentions." The alien's silver eyes narrowed. "We have observed your history, the violence, the wars, the destruction of your own environment. Your rapid technological advancement coupled with your aggressive nature makes you a potential threat to galactic peace." The room fell silent. Tom's hand instinctively moved closer to his concealed weapon. "We are here," the alien continued, "to give you a choice. Accept our guidance and restrictions on your development, or face the consequences of your refusal." The UN Secretary-General stood slowly. "Are you threatening our planet?" "We are offering you protection from yourselves," the alien replied. "Your species is like a child playing with fire. We cannot allow you to bring your violence to the stars." The world leaders exchanged glances. Decades of science fiction had prepared humanity for many possible first contact scenarios. But this was different. This wasn't the offering of friendship they had hoped for. This was an ultimatum. "We will need time to discuss this among ourselves," the Secretary-General said carefully. The alien nodded. "You have 1 Earth month to consider our offer. We will return for your answer." He paused, those silver eyes scanning the room. "Choose wisely. The alternative would be unfortunate." The aliens departed as smoothly as they had arrived, their ship disappearing into the clouds. But they left behind something far more dangerous than their threats. They left behind a united human race with a common purpose. As soon as the alien ship left Earth's atmosphere, the real meeting began. "They're not here to help us," Tom stated flatly. "They're here to control us or eliminate us." Those weren't diplomats. They were assessment officers. The Secretary-General nodded grimly. "Their mistake was giving us time to prepare. 1 month. 1 month," Tom agreed, "to show them humanity isn't as helpless as they think." As the emergency session continued deep into the night, no one noticed the small smile on Tom's face. The aliens had made a crucial error in their assessment. They had judged humanity by its past, not its potential. They had seen the wars but missed the innovation. They had counted the conflicts but overlooked humanity's greatest strength, the ability to unite and overcome any challenge when faced with a common threat. The aliens thought they were giving humanity time to submit. Instead, they had given humanity time to prepare. As soon as the alien ship vanished from Earth's radar, the world changed. Behind closed doors, ancient rivals became allies. In secret bunkers deep beneath the Earth's surface, military commanders from every nation gathered to plan humanity's response. Commander James Anderson stood in the newly established Global Defense Command Center, staring at the wall of screens before him. Each one showed a different underground facility being rapidly constructed across the globe. What would have taken years in peacetime was being accomplished in days. "Sir, you need to see this," said his assistant, pushing a thick folder across the desk. "We found something in the old files." Anderson opened the folder, and his eyes widened. The papers inside contained military reports dating back to World War II, reports of strange lights, unexplained technology, and most importantly, detailed observations of Earth by unknown watchers. "They've been studying us for decades," Anderson muttered, flipping through the pages. Every major conflict, every technological breakthrough, they were watching, taking notes, judging. In the depths of Mount Cheyenne, scientists worked around the clock. The alien ship had left behind trace radiation, electromagnetic patterns, and tiny fragments of their technology. It wasn't much, but for humanity's brightest minds, it was enough. The aliens made one critical mistake. Dr. Mark Thompson explained to the Global Council. "They showed us their technology works. Now we know it's possible. And what humanity knows is possible, humanity can achieve." Underground factories sprang to life. The world's manufacturing capability, once dedicated to consumer goods and traditional weapons, now focused on a single goal: survival. Old missile silos were converted into research laboratories. Abandoned mines became assembly plants for new weapons. But humanity's greatest asset wasn't its factories or laboratories. It was its people. Millions of civilians volunteered for the defense effort. Computer programmers worked on advanced AI systems. Engineers designed new defense platforms. Even children contributed, their video game skills helping to design more intuitive control systems for the new weapons. Anderson walked through one of the massive underground hangars, looking at the rows of ships taking shape. They weren't copies of the alien vessel. Humanity had learned from history that mimicking an advanced opponent's technology was a losing strategy. Instead, these ships were uniquely human, designed to exploit weaknesses the aliens didn't even know they had. "We're not building a defense force," Anderson explained to the Global Council. "We're building a surprise." The aliens had assumed humanity's division was a weakness. They didn't understand that humans were at their most dangerous when united by a common threat. Every nation contributed its strengths: Russian heavy industry, Japanese electronics, German engineering, American innovation, Chinese mass production, Indian software, Brazilian resources, African testing grounds. In the Atlantic Ocean, enormous underwater facilities produced ships designed to hide in plain sight. In the Himalayan mountains, new sensors watched the stars. Under the Antarctic ice, power plants hummed, providing energy for the greatest construction project in human history. 20 days into the one-month deadline, Anderson received an urgent call. A team drilling a new underground facility in Arizona had found something that changed everything. "It's not natural," the site supervisor reported, his voice shaking with excitement. "Sir, it's a ship. An alien ship, crashed here maybe thousands of years ago." Anderson was on site within hours. The ancient vessel was nothing like the sleek ship that had visited Earth. This was a warship, its hull marked with weapon ports and battle damage. "They lied to us," Anderson said, touching the cold metal of the ancient ship. "The coalition isn't here to protect peace. They're here to eliminate competition." With this discovery, humanity's preparations took on new urgency. The ancient ship provided insights into alien weapon systems, shield technology, and most importantly, their tactical weaknesses. As the deadline approached, Anderson stood in the command center, watching the final pieces fall into place. Humanity's new defense fleet hung in secret orbital docks, hidden from alien sensors. Underground bases were fully staffed and operational. The global defense network was online and tested. "Send the message to all commands," Anderson ordered. "Operation Silent Shield is active." The aliens would return, expecting to find a primitive civilization ready to submit to their control. Instead, they would find something else entirely. They would find humanity, ready and waiting. The alien ships appeared near Mars without warning. 3 sleek vessels, larger than the diplomatic ship that had visited Earth, moved with predatory grace through the solar system. They made no attempt to hide their presence. They wanted to be seen. In the Global Defense Command Center, Commander Anderson watched their approach on the massive holographic display. His face showed no emotion as he pressed a button on his command console. "Launch the Defender," he ordered. Deep beneath the lunar surface, inside a hidden base that didn't officially exist, a single ship powered up. The Defender was humanity's first true space warship. It looked nothing like traditional spacecraft. Its dark hull seemed to absorb light, its shape constantly shifting as advanced metamaterials adjusted to surrounding conditions. Captain Robert Wells sat in the command chair, his crew silent and focused around him. They had trained for this moment for weeks, running countless simulations. Now it was real. "Defender is ready," Wells reported. "Permission to engage." Anderson's voice came through clear and calm. "Show them what humanity can do, Captain." The Defender emerged from its hidden dock, its engines completely silent. The alien vessels didn't react. Their sensors, designed to detect conventional propulsion systems, were blind to humanity's new technology. Wells watched his tactical display as they closed in on the alien ships. Target locked, initiating first contact protocol. The Defender suddenly appeared directly in front of the alien fleet, seeming to materialize out of nowhere. Its size was deliberately intimidating, nearly twice as large as the largest alien vessel. "Attention alien vessels," Wells broadcast on all frequencies. "You have entered restricted space. Stand down and prepare to be escorted out of the solar system." The alien ships reacted instantly, weapons charging, shields rising. Their commander responded with obvious disdain. "Primitive species, you dare to challenge the coalition. We will make an example of." The aliens' transmission cut off as the Defender launched its first attack. A pulse of concentrated energy, technology reversed engineered from the ancient warship, struck the lead alien vessel. Its shields flickered and died. Before the other 2 ships could react, the Defender was between them, moving with impossible speed. 2 more energy pulses, and their shields failed as well. "As you can see," Wells transmitted calmly, "we are not as primitive as you assumed. This is your only warning. The next demonstration will not be so gentle." The alien ships hung motionless, their weapons disabled, their shields down. The coalition had never encountered this kind of resistance from a primitive species. They had no protocols for this situation. Wells allowed himself a small smile. "We know about the ancient warship you left buried on Earth. We know about your real intentions for primitive species, and now you know that we are ready for you." The Defender circled the disabled alien ships like a predator. Its hull seemed to ripple in the starlight, the advanced metamaterials making it appear both beautiful and terrifying. "Return to your coalition," Wells continued. "Tell them what you saw here. Tell them that Earth is not a primitive world to be conquered or controlled. Tell them that humanity is ready, and we are waiting." The alien ships retreated, their engines struggling to maintain stability after the Defender's attack. As they fled, Wells transmitted one final message. "And remember this, what you saw today was just one ship that we allowed you to see. Consider carefully what that means." In the command center, Anderson watched the alien ships disappear from the solar system. He knew this was just the beginning. The coalition would return, and next time they would bring a proper invasion fleet. But that was exactly what humanity wanted. Let them come in force. Let them commit their full strength. Every bunker, every hidden base, every secret weapon would be ready. Send word to all commands, Anderson ordered. Phase 1 is complete. Begin Phase 2. Across the solar system, hidden shipyards increased production. Defense platforms powered up. Strike teams moved into position. The aliens had come expecting to find primitives playing with technology they didn't understand. Instead, they had found a species that had taken their warning as a challenge and turned it into an opportunity. Humanity wasn't just ready. Humanity was waiting. And the real battle hadn't even begun. The alien fleet arrived exactly as humanity's intelligence predicted. A massive armada of over 300 ships, emerging from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. They came prepared for war, expecting to find a panicked Earth scrambling to mount a defense. Instead, they found silence. The cities below were empty. No radio transmissions, no satellite activity, no signs of the advanced ship that had humiliated their scout fleet. Earth appeared abandoned. In the massive underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, Commander Anderson watched the alien fleets approach. Around him, holographic displays showed the positions of humanity's hidden forces, all waiting for his signal. Let them get closer, he ordered. Let them think they've won before they've even fought. The alien fleet moved cautiously through the solar system, their sensors probing for traps. They found nothing. Mars was empty. The moon showed no signs of the bases their scouts had reported. As they approached Earth, their confusion grew. The alien commander's transmission echoed through Earth's empty cities. To the humans who dared to challenge us, come out and face your destiny. Deep underground, Anderson smiled. Activate the orbital defense grid. Suddenly, thousands of satellites that had appeared dead came to life. Each one split apart, revealing advanced weapon systems. The alien fleet found itself surrounded by a sphere of weaponry that hadn't existed moments before. What's the matter? Anderson's voice transmitted to the alien fleet. Surprised to find we don't keep all our weapons in plain sight. Before the aliens could respond, the ground beneath Earth's empty cities began to move. Massive sections of land slid aside, revealing hidden launch bays. Hundreds of warships, each as advanced as the Defender, rose into the sky. The alien commander's voice had lost its arrogance. Impossible. Our scan showed no signs of this technology. You saw what we wanted you to see, Anderson replied. Did you really think we would leave our defenses where you could find them? From hidden bases on Mars, more ships emerged. From beneath the moon's surface, massive gun platforms appeared. From the asteroid belt, stealth fighters decloaked. The alien fleet was not just surrounded, it was trapped. Your mistake, Anderson continued, was thinking we would fight like you, out in the open, ships against ships, following your rules of warfare. But humanity has learned from its own history. The best defense isn't just about having better weapons. It's about making your enemy fight on your terms. The alien fleet attempted to retreat, but found their hyperspace engines wouldn't activate. The humans had already deployed their gravity disruption field, another gift from the ancient warship they had discovered. Now then, Anderson's voice was calm, almost friendly. Shall we discuss terms of surrender? Or would you prefer a demonstration of how humanity fights when its survival is threatened? In response, the alien fleet opened fire, only to find their weapons passing harmlessly through holographic duplicates of Earth's ships. The real human fleet was already behind them. Wrong choice, Anderson said. The battle that followed was brief but decisive. Earth's ships, designed specifically to counter alien technology, tore through the invading fleet's defenses. The orbital grid's crossfire left no escape route. Human fighters, smaller and more maneuverable than anything the aliens had seen, swarmed their capital ships. Within an hour, The mighty coalition armada was reduced to drifting hulks and scattered debris. The few ships that survived found themselves surrounded by Earth's forces, their weapons disabled, their shields down. Anderson stood from his command chair. "Send to all alien vessels. You came here expecting to find a primitive species ready for harvesting. Instead, you found humanity. Remember this day. Remember what happened when you threatened our world. Remember that we didn't just prepare for your attack. We planned for it." The surviving alien ships were allowed to limp away, carrying with them the message that Earth was not to be trifled with. As they retreated, Anderson turned to his staff. "Send word to all commands. Operation Deception is complete. Begin Phase 3. Around the solar system, humanity's full military might begin to emerge from hiding. The real war was about to begin, and Earth was done playing defense. The aliens had wanted to see humanity's true nature. They were about to get their wish. Commander Lisa Hayes stood on the bridge of Earth's new flagship, the Retribution, watching as her fleet emerged from hyperspace. The Coalition's home system lay before them, a massive collection of artificial worlds and space stations orbiting a dying star. "They never expected us to find them," she said, studying the tactical display. "They never thought we'd be able to track their retreating ships back to their base." The alien defense fleet was scrambling to respond, but they were too slow. Humanity had learned from its own history. The best time to strike was when your enemy thought they were safe in their own home. "All ships, battle formation Delta," Hayes ordered. "Remember your training. Remember Earth. Begin the attack." Earth's fleet moved with precision that shocked the Coalition forces. Human ships didn't fight like alien vessels. They fought like ocean predators, moving in three-dimensional patterns that made them nearly impossible to target. "Admiral," her tactical officer reported, "the Coalition is transmitting on all frequencies. They're demanding to know how we found them." Hayes smiled. "Tell them to check their own ships, the ones we let retreat from Earth." The aliens had never considered that their damaged ships might have been allowed to escape on purpose, carrying hidden tracking devices that led humanity straight to their headquarters. The battle unfolded exactly as humanity had planned. Coalition ships, designed for grand fleet actions, couldn't match the agility of Earth's vessels. Human fighters slipped through their defenses like schools of fish, striking critical systems with surgical precision. "Target their command station," Hayes ordered. "Show them what happens when you underestimate humanity." The Retribution's main cannon fired, a beam of concentrated energy that cut through the Coalition's strongest shields like they weren't there. The massive space station that had coordinated the attack on Earth cracked open like an egg. "Incoming transmission from the Coalition leadership," her communications officer announced. They're asking for terms." Hayes leaned forward in her command chair. "Put them through." The alien leader appeared on the main screen, his silver eyes wide with fear. How did you advance so quickly? This level of technology should have taken centuries to develop." "You forced us to evolve," Hayes replied. "When you threatened Earth, you gave humanity something it had never had before, a common enemy. We achieved in weeks what might have taken centuries because we had no choice. You left us no alternative but to surpass you." Around them, the battle was ending. Coalition ships were surrendering one by one, their crews realizing they faced an enemy far beyond what they had expected. "Your species is dangerous," the alien leader declared. "This is why we tried to contain you." Hayes shook her head. "No, we were never the dangerous ones. You were. You who judged other species worthy or unworthy of existence. You who threatened peaceful worlds with destruction if they didn't submit to your rule. We simply showed you that the universe is bigger than you thought." The Retribution's sensors detected more Coalition ships arriving, reinforcements from their other territories. But they weren't arriving to fight. They were arriving to surrender. "Send word to Earth," Hayes ordered. "Phase 5 is complete. The Coalition's military power is broken." As her crew celebrated around her, Hayes studied the tactical display. Humanity had won not just through superior technology or tactics, but through understanding. They had understood their enemies' weaknesses, their prejudices, their fears. The coalition had feared humanity's potential for violence. They never understood that humans were at their most dangerous not when fighting, but when protecting. Protecting their home, their future, their right to exist without interference. "Commander," her tactical officer called out, "what are our orders regarding the surrendered coalition forces?" Hayes stood, looking out at the alien fleet that had once threatened Earth and now floated powerless before her. "Treat them with respect," she ordered. "Show them that humanity knows how to win with grace. After all, we're not here to destroy them. We're here to teach them a better way." The battle was over, but humanity's real victory wasn't in defeating the coalition. It was in proving that they were ready to take their place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as equals. The age of coalition dominance was over. The age of humanity had begun. The meeting hall aboard the neutral space station Concordia was filled with tension. On one side sat the remaining coalition leadership, their silver eyes dulled by defeat. On the other side sat Earth's delegation, led by Ambassador David Burns, a man who had spent his life studying alien cultures. "We are here," Burns began, "not to discuss your surrender, but to forge a new future." The coalition leaders shifted uncomfortably. Their once mighty empire had been humbled in a matter of weeks by a species they had dismissed as primitive. Now they had no choice but to listen. "You still don't understand us," Burns continued, activating a holographic display. "Look at these images from Earth's history." The display showed scenes of human achievements, the first flight, the moon landing, great works of art and architecture, medical breakthroughs, and acts of kindness between strangers. "This is humanity," Burns explained. "Not the warships that defeated your fleet, not the weapons that broke your defenses. Those were just tools we created because you gave us no choice." The coalition's lead diplomat, his blue skin pale with stress, spoke up. "Your species advanced too quickly. The danger, the only danger," Burns interrupted, "was in your attempt to control us. Humanity doesn't respond well to threats, but cooperation, that we understand very well." He pressed another button, and the holographic display changed to show Earth's new defense network, its advanced ships, its technological achievements. "We could use this power to dominate, as you did," Burns said. "Instead, we offer partnership." The coalition leaders exchanged glances. This was not the vengeful species they had expected to face after their defeat. This was something else entirely. "What are your terms?" the lead diplomat asked. Burns smiled. "First, the coalition will be reformed. No more judging species as worthy or unworthy. No more threats of extinction for those who don't meet your standards." He continued, "Second, Earth will join as a full member, with equal voice in all decisions. Our technology, our innovations will be shared, under proper safeguards." The coalition leaders were stunned. They had expected demands for reparations, for territory, for submission. Instead, humanity was offering them a chance to become something better. "Third," Burns said, his voice growing serious, "you will help us contact and protect other developing civilizations, not to control them, but to guide them, to give them the chance to grow without fear." The meeting continued for hours, but the outcome was never in doubt. The coalition, faced with humanity's unexpected mercy, found itself being transformed from within. As the final documents were being prepared, the coalition's lead diplomat approached Burns privately. "Why?" he asked. "Why show such restraint when you could have destroyed us completely?" Burns looked out the station's window at the stars. "Because that's not who we are. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our ability to fight. It's our ability to grow, to learn, to become better than we were." He turned back to the diplomat. "Your mistake was seeing only our capacity for violence. You never saw our capacity for forgiveness, for cooperation, for building something greater than ourselves." The signing ceremony was broadcast across Coalition space and back to Earth. As Burns put his signature on the document that would reshape galactic civilization, he spoke one final time. Let this be remembered not as the day humanity defeated the Coalition, but as the day both our peoples chose to become something more. Together, we can build a future that neither of us could have created alone. In command centers across Earth, military leaders watched as the new treaty took effect. Defense systems powered down. Ships returned to their bases. The war that had forced humanity to advance so quickly was over. But humanity's journey was just beginning. Already, scientists were adapting military technology for peaceful purposes. Exploration ships were being prepared. The stars that had once seemed to hold only threats now promised adventure and discovery. The Coalition had tried to contain humanity's potential. Instead, they had helped release it. And now, together, both civilizations would face the true final frontier, not the challenge of war, but the challenge of peace. The diplomatic dance was complete. The real work of building a better galaxy was about to begin. 5 years after the signing of the Concordia Treaty, Earth had become the center of a transformed galactic civilization. The once mighty Coalition had evolved into something new. The Galactic Alliance, with humanity playing a leading role in its peaceful expansion across the stars. From his office in the new Alliance headquarters in Geneva, Commander Anderson watched ships from 100 different species moving through Earth's orbit. Each vessel represented a civilization that had once lived in fear of Coalition judgment. Now they were partners in the greatest period of growth and discovery the galaxy had ever seen. Progress report from the outer sectors, his assistant announced, bringing in the morning briefing. 3 more developing civilizations have been contacted. All have accepted our offer of protected status while they develop naturally. Anderson nodded, remembering how different things had been just a few years ago. And the protection fleets. Joint human coalition patrols are maintaining the safety zones around each developing world. No incidents reported. The greatest change hadn't been in technology or military power, but in philosophy. Earth's example had shown the galaxy a new way forward. Protection without control, guidance without dominance. In orbital shipyards, vessels of human and alien design were being built side by side. The same technology that had once been used for war was now powering exploration ships and research vessels. Humanity's drive to innovate had not diminished, but its purpose had shifted from survival to discovery. "Sir," his assistant interrupted his thoughts, "the first graduating class from the Alliance Academy is ready for their ceremony." Anderson smiled. The academy had been his idea, a place where young officers from every species could train together, learning from each other's strengths and perspectives. The graduation ceremony was held in the Great Hall of the Alliance headquarters. Young officers from dozens of species stood together, wearing the same uniform, a symbol of unity that would have been unthinkable in the Coalition era. Anderson took the podium for his address. 5 years ago, humanity faced a choice. We could have used our victory to dominate, to become what we had fought against. Instead, we chose a harder path, the path of peace, of cooperation, of mutual growth. He looked out at the diverse faces before him. Today, you represent that choice. Each of you carries within you the strength of your own people and the wisdom learned from others. Together, you will go forth not as conquerors or controllers, but as explorers and protectors. In deep space, the results of this new approach were already visible. Joint research teams were making breakthroughs in technology and science. Cultural exchange programs were breaking down centuries of prejudice and fear. The galaxy was growing not through force, but through understanding. The ancient warship that had revealed the Coalition's true nature now sat in a museum, a reminder of how far they had all come. Beside it stood the Defender, the ship that had fired humanity's warning shot. Together, they told the story not just of conflict, but of transformation. We were ready for war, Anderson continued in his speech, but we were also ready for peace. That readiness, that willingness to choose the harder path, is what truly marks humanity's place among the stars. As the ceremony concluded, News arrived from the galaxy's edge. Another developing civilization had been discovered. But unlike in the Coalition days, there would be no threats, no ultimatums. Instead, they would be given time, protection, and the chance to find their own path to the stars. In the years that followed, the story of humanity's rise would be told across the galaxy, not as a tale of military victory, but as a lesson in the power of choice. The species that had prepared for war had proven even more prepared for peace. The final warning that humanity had given to the galaxy hadn't been about weapons or power. It had been about potential. The potential for change, for growth, for becoming something greater than anyone had imagined possible. As Anderson watched the new officers disperse to their assignments, he thought about the message Earth had sent with that first warning shot years ago. We're ready and waiting. They had been ready not just for battle, but for this, the day when all species could stand together as equals under the stars. The age of fear was over. The age of exploration had begun, and humanity was leading the way.